Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's coverage of the YesterYear Racing League. This evening we're excited to be bringing you the coverage of all the action from iRacing's virtual half-mile Stafford Motor Speedway here in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you all the action from all types of racing, including the weekly Fast Friday series. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Brant Last, and joining me in the booth tonight is Jeremy Briggs of DJ Line, working our controls as a producer, using cameras provided by the great Dougie Beard. The YesterYear Racing League is a unique one of the iRacing platform and seeks to emulate the historical races in the 1990 Whelen Modified Series or the 1990 Southern Modified Auto Racing Team Series or S.M.A.R.T Tour. These races will be identical to the real-world races that occurred, and we'll be bringing you these bits of history throughout tonight's broadcast. Tonight, we're emulating the 1990 Camden Classic, won by the late and great Mike Stefanik over Rick Fuller. The race also featured a mandatory pit stop system, new for the series at that time, between laps 50 and 100. Stefanik gained the system by pitting early in a race for tires. Then everyone stayed out while he was pitting for tires, and during the mandatory pit stop, he came down, he jacked his car up and drove off and beat everyone else off the pit road. So we will not be implementing the mandatory pit stop in tonight's race, but still a fun tidbit. So Jeremy, these are some of the top modified drivers as you've seen all season long in iRacing. Consists a list of really only invited drivers from the OBRL, Bootleg Racing League, and Red Light Racing League. So what should we expect tonight as they take on the home of the SK Modifieds?
Round number 7 here at Stafford. It's June. The weather is beautiful. And we're gonna have some great racing tonight. These drivers put on a great show the last race that I was a part of. A lot of green flag racing. This track is very big for these cars, in my opinion, and we'll have to see how it plays out tonight.
Like you mentioned, race number 7 just past the halfway point in the schedule, and they're going to start a summer break here. Have a month off, or actually over a month off, and next time around it's going to be Thompson right down the road in Thompson, Connecticut. That's going to come to you August 20th here, also in Maconi. But tonight's race, also looking at the details, shortest race of the season. On the second shortest, 62.5 miles, believe it or not. So going to be a quick one for sure to see it there. Track originally opened in 1870, one of the oldest short tracks in America, and definitely one to watch as it's kind of evolved over the years. One of the first tracks to install safer barriers around the track and kind of invented, or not invented, but pioneered a whole revolution of safety standards, not only in short track racing, but in racing automobiles all over the world. So we're going to look at points battle. Thomas Ogle has been dominant these first 6 races, including a handful of wins, and Ryan Pittman and Brian Bianchi, though, right behind him. So, Jeremy, look at the points. Do you think anyone's got anything for Thomas Ogle?
Well, we'll have to see how it plays out. Rex Hoyle seemed to be pretty quick in practice, but I believe I saw Ryan Pittman and Brian Bianchi also at the top of the charts there. Lloyd Moore kind of just hanging out there in 4th, and Bruce Pearson is in 5th. Just kind of hanging out and seeing what they can do. We're already at the halfway point, and we're kind of seeing where everybody's starting to play out. So we'll have to get to tonight's picks here.
Like we mentioned, we have the Hubble YesterYear Racing AI system that uses hundreds of different data points over the season to try and evaluate and pick a top 10 or who the winner of the race is going to be. For the first time this season, it's not going with Donnie Moore. It's gone with Thomas Ogle to see there. There's their top 10 prediction, and it's been pretty close as far as the top 10 goes. And like I mentioned, Donnie Moore's been the favorite first 6 races out, but Tom Ogle finally on top for round 7 here. So rolling in, go ahead, Jeremy.
Just like you said, Thomas Ogle is on top there. He's been really kind of consistent. We'll just have to see how this finish plays out for him and see if AI can predict it correct.
All right, we have the national anthem coming up as qualifying get ready to go underway here, and we'll be back in just a second.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
And welcome back once again here to the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. I'm not going to lie, Jeremy, I don't know about you, but that brought a tear to my eye.
Man, that was a beautiful Leanne Ryan's rendition again.
100%. What's even more beautiful is this starting lineup. We have 19 hungry modified drivers getting ready to go, and a new kid on the block. Eric Stout with the quickest time of the night at 18.557. And we have a couple of our two Culpeppers Bakery and Colony Tire drivers, Rex Hoyle and Brian Bianchi, starting behind him in second, third, Chris Davis in fourth, Ryan Pittman. They're rolling off inside the top five. Donnie Moore, been one of their favorite drivers all season long, according to the AI. In sixth, Thomas Ogle, tonight's favorite. And seventh, Bruce Pearson, eighth, Jerry Isaacs, ninth, and Brian Johnson rounding out your top 10. Jim, I'm going to let you take it away here.
Jeffrey Leiden comes in here in 11th. Torrance Childs is in 12th. 13th is Gavin Adams. 14th is Rory Collins. 15th, Stephen Hilbert. 16th, Alan Wanamaker. 17th, Lloyd Moore. 18th, Thomas Hilbert. And I believe 19th should be Lowell Jewell there as the cars are rolling around the track. Brayton, here we go.
Yeah, but you get ready to go. Go time here, 62.5 miles of some modified action. Get ready to take the green flag here. Lights are off on the pace car, pace truck. Let's see if it pulls in this time. I don't think it is, unless it pulls in here off of turn 4. No, it's not going to pull in. Maybe it is. We'll find out. Nope, it's going to stay on out.
Okay, all right.
So pace truck driver, I don't know if he has a name. I know Barney the flagman has a name, and he's eager to wave that green flag. The pace truck driver, though, is pulling a Richard Pettit Darrington and decides to take an extra lap or two around Stafford here. He loves the track that much. So one thing I want to see about Stafford here, see the race analysis coming up on your screen. 125 laps, pit road speed of 40 miles an hour, no green white checkers, and Jeremy, no fast repairs, and around a fixed iRacing setup.
And that's the key right there. No fast repairs. Got to be there at the end. The pace truck is off out here in turn 3. Here we go. Green flag's in the air. Stout out front. Rex Hoyle on his outsides. They are side by side into turn 1.
Now using that 7.5 degrees of banking through 1 and 2. Stout on the bottom, still side by side with Hoyle. Hoyle gets the run off of turn 2. They are even going into turn 3.
Great battle out front. Rex Hoyle trying to make it work on the top. Lap 1's going to be complete. Eric Stout is going to be our leader.
All 19 drivers make it across the line.
Hoyle, third place, big wreck. Turn 2.
Well, we're mentioning there's no fast repairs, and that's definitely come into play here. See the 08 machine there. That's Ryan Pittman slowing down low on the track going through the grass. And a couple other guys. That's 13 as well involved.
Let's check out the replay. I believe third place got loose coming out of 2.
Yeah, that was Thomas Ogle in the 13 he saw going through the grass. Tonight's favorite. So 13 is Ogle. The 4 is Donnie Moore. He's coming off the turn 4, going in the 1. And it's up the track 50 of Rex Hoyle that I mentioned was running third, and he's actually still running third as of this time being, so he's going to be A-okay. Everyone else behind him kind of stacks up, and the thing about these cars, Jeremy, is, one, no fast repairs, so you got to be a little more easier than you would normally, but these are open wheel cars. I mean, you don't have fenders to really take the hit per se, so I mean, one slight bump and you're towed in to get your camber out, and you're out off to the races. I mean, you're not going to be competitive at all.
I don't know how well the damage model is. It looked like Rex took that pretty square in the door and the Nerf bar there. I'm not sure if he's got anything bent, but like you said, he's still in third place, staying out on the track. He seems to be pretty confident that there's no damage after that incident on lap 2, coming out of turn 2, getting loose there in front of the field.
Yeah, so everyone, for the most part, should be able to finish. Yeah, Pittman comes down pits to get some damage fixed and going to stay on out. One thing, too, to talk about, they have 2 sets of tires if they need it. And we've seen some short track races here in the series go basically caution-free. They might have a caution early on, but the final, 90% of the race is caution-free, and it becomes a big tire game. I know we were at Hickory earlier in the season, I believe, and I mean, it was a nightmare. That was the second race of the season. I mean, you had guys spinning out left and right, no one able to keep their rears underneath them, and that was a fun one to watch. So tire wear, I think it's going to be a name of the game here.
Looks like there's a lot of marbles up top already, too, from the practice session. I believe that rolls over. That's definitely an area on the track you're not going to want to get into. especially later in the race. Looks like we are 1 to green as these are single file restarts here in this series of YesterYear Racing League.
Now, they didn't believe in double file restarts back in 1990, nor did we believe in them in 2024. So Eric Stout out Stout and in command up front over Bianchi and Rex Hoyle.
Stout gonna try it. Go ahead.
Getting ready to go. Pace car pulling off turn 3. Here comes Stout around turn 4, slow rolling, and green flag is up for the second time tonight at Stafford.
Everybody seems to be minding their P's and Q's in the 1 and 2 here. Trying to get some more laps turned. No wild restarts there as Bianchi stays tight around Stout as we're going to complete lap number 7.
And no one really trying anything too crazy this early on. Stout still in command across the line. Just over a 10th advantage over Brian Bianchi. Rex Hoyle in 3rd, and they're 2 wide though in the back. That's a 2 machine of Lyle Jewell, and I believe it's Alan Wallmaker, his outside, falling back now.
Single file mostly throughout the field right now. Everybody is trying to get it filled out and see what their cars really got here. We've got 125 laps tonight, an early caution. Looks like the 13 of Ogle is back on pit road here.
Yeah, not what Thomas Ogle won. Already gonna go multiple laps down, and we talked about no waiver runs, no lucky dogs, nothing. So you have to race away and get some of these laps back the hard and old-fashioned way if we want to get those laps back. But heartbreak, Thomas Ogle, last week's winner.
Seems to be like his race is unfortunately over early as the number 12 machine of Eric Stout continues to lead the way. Brian Bianchi in 2nd, Rex Hoyle 3rd, Chris Davis, and 4th is Jerry Isaacs. In 5th, everybody seems to be kind of spread out. Bruce Pearson there in 6th, Jeffrey Lydon, in 7th, Brian Johnson 8th, Donnie Moore 9th, and Torrance Childs 10th. Kind of rounds out our top 10 there.
Thomas Ogle coming out of pit lane right in front of your leaders. See him slow and low going down into turn 3. So guys are a bit about straight or so in front of your leaders, so not straight in front of them, but 3 laps down, albeit. So he's out here trying to get some seat time, trying to get some laps. We talked about those guys in 2nd, 3rd, and points right behind them. This is a great opportunity for them to make up some points.
That's going to be huge for these drivers tonight. This is kind of what they needed, being about 56 points back coming into tonight. And we've got lap number 14 started here. Looks like we got a battle towards the back starting to form as the drivers are starting to get some heat in their tires. Oh, as the leader gets loose on the backstretch, Eric Stout, your leader, loose just like Rex Hoyle did. Lost the lead right there.
They lost the lead and went through the grass to recover, but recovered not so nicely, but still in the lead pack, falls down to 5th place. That's going to give the lead to Brian Bianchi and Rex Hoyle. So Bianchi came in this low, 3rd in points. He did a great run, and so far he's having it with Thomas Ogle. His trouble is in the Ryan Pittman, the driver's 2nd point, so it's also involved in that accident, if you remember. So your top 2 in points not having a great run. Bianchi, though, in 3rd, is having the run of his life.
Eric Stout here, we'll check him out. Just gets loose off of 2 there. I don't know if he caught that little unevenness of the track. It just got his left rear upset as he kind of fades back to 5th right now. As your leaders are really close. Great battle. That's Eric Stout recovers.
It's hard to make passes here. Kind of, I don't want to say single file groove track, but everyone's running single file and towards the bottom or middle-ish of the track, while Rex Hoyle, though, is trying to take the lead from Bianchi right on that back bumper going in 1 and 2. Fastest car on the track, though, is Eric Stout by half a tenth or so, and he's trying to get back up this lead if he can help it.
The Culpepper's Bakery cars out front 1 and 2 right now. Interesting to see how teammates play.
Yeah, they're definitely cooking some up here in the bakery, and they're pulling away while battling. They're pulling away from Chris Davis in 3rd. So I mean, they're not doing a half bad job at all. And then Eric Stout there up to 4th, and Jerry Isaacs running at their top 5, up 4 spots. Jerry Isaacs is already.
I will say from 10th back there, quite separated back there. I think the leaders might encounter lap traffic here shortly, as they're just about a straightaway away from lap traffic, especially Ogle trying to make a comeback. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, see all the trailers, all the drivers, all the fans that brought their RVs and whatnot out here tonight in the pit area. I mean, we got a full house. So flying the Maconi Entertainment drone, and hopefully we don't crash it.
That sucker's expensive, and we don't want to have to tell Jeff that we broke it. So hopefully we get that thing back on the ground soon.
Yeah, we'll call it a write-off if we crash it. We say someone threw pizza at it and it hit the propeller. And meanwhile, hitting the propeller, and that's a go propeller, that's Brian Bianchi. Still has Rex Hoyle on his tail, but these two have cleared over a second on third of Chris Davis now.
Almost 2 seconds already. They're driving away as Eric Stout has already made himself back up to 4th place. We'll have to keep an eye on that battle as he is closing in on 3rd.
I need a caution if we can help it, but the way everyone's single file and kind of dispersed themselves throughout the track here, the half mile of Stafford Motor Speedway, I mean, there's no real side-by-side racing to present itself and give a caution.
We'll have to see how these drivers decide how they want to start managing their tires here. Oh, as we do have a yellow in turn 2. Oh, coming right down in front of the leaders.
That's Gavin Adams in the 30 and Stephen Hilbert in the 52. They were one of the closer battles on the track. I didn't think we were going to get a caution from that, but you see the right front bumper, everything destroyed there on Gavin Adams' 30 car. Oh, this is going to be a heartbreaking replay.
That is going to be quite the fix.
So we're going to see on board the blue and red car in the back, and then the green, yellow and white number 30. That's Gavin Adams gets loose by himself.
Oh.
Stephen Hilbert nowhere to go.
Oh,
so,
innocent bystander there. Unfortunate circumstances. We got a pretty good green flag run there.
That's exactly why Eric Stout needed to get back in contention, right on board with Adams. Just gets loose, and Hilbert doesn't really catch in time, not able to check up when he needs to, and around they both go. Might
have been daydreaming. That was quite the strung out track we had there. That's all sarcasm, by the way. I'm making assumptions here. As gets those repairs done, but that right front looked very bent. As we check up front, Brian Bianchi and his teammate Rex Hoyle 1 and 2, Chris Davis in 3rd, Eric Stout trying to make a comeback after being the leader here early and getting loose off of 2 is 4th, Jared Isaac is 5th, Bruce Pearson is 6th, Jeffrey Lyden is 7th, Brian Johnson 8th, Don Moore 9th, and Lloyd Moore is 10th.
Yeah, that's our top bench. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to hopefully get ready to go back green flag racing for the final time tonight. Still 100 laps to go from Stafford Motor Speedway.
You want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every...
Welcome back to the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here. I'm Brayton Lasser. Joining me in the booth is Jeremy Briggs and Brian Bianchi. They're the leader with the Rex Hoyle right behind him.
Great start by Bianchi. I think that's the most space he's had from Rex since the drop of the green flag there. He's been all over his back bumper. As we got cars all over here in turn 2. Everybody's still rolling, no yellow.
They might be rolling, but they're slow rolling. That's Torrance Childs really slow going into turn 3. Now Lil Jewel and up 7 spots, able to get around in that chaos. I don't really know what it was. We got a replay though. Riding on board with Lou Jewel, focusing on him. Yeah, we got a big stack up going in the 1 and 2 here. So Jules gets driven through behind. I believe that's 62 of Rory Collins. And we have a parking lot. I don't know how that wasn't a caution. But, I mean, we tore him up 4 or 5 deep, and that's going to knock out a lot of these guys' toes, suspension, and fast repairs.
And with all that hecticness happening there at the beginning, the leader is already into lap traffic from the damaged cars.
That Roy Collins right there holding him up, gonna go wide. Let Bianchi by, maybe not. A little bit of contact coming off of turn 2. Rex Hoyle gonna follow Bianchi on the bottom, and Chris Davis in third, and Eric Stout kind of within a second or so of the leader, trying to get back in contention of this one.
As the leaders manage this early lap traffic, I know these guys are trying to stay on the lead lap because it's hard to get back on the lead lap, but their cars seem to be just a little off the pace now after that incident here. 34 laps in.
That's still going to run that lap traffic. The lead package, Jerry Isaacs in 5th now, trying to get around the 62 of Rory Collins. And Collins trying to hang on, like we mentioned, no lucky dogs here. So top 4 wreck is back on the lead lap. More lap traffic up front. That's 08. Ryan Pittman, 2nd points. He's going to, speaking of Pittman, he's going to pit his way into the pits. And got at least 1 or 2 laps down here, joining Rory Collins, Stephen Hilbert, Thomas Ogle, Torrance Childs, and Gavin Adams laps down.
Top contenders in the points standings tonight having big trouble here. We'll have to see if Bianchi and Hoyle can capitalize tonight, as they seem to be quite organized up here at the front. Side-by-side battle back here with lap traffic. Everybody trying to manage their way around the track. With that incident, we're gonna have quite a few cars off the pace. This might get everybody kind of strung out if we get a green flag run. We'll have to see how it plans out.
They got to manage those rear tires, though. That was the reason that caution last time. So managing that tire, managing the wear, managing how loose it get going in the corner is a big part of it. You want to be fast, but you don't want to be the guy that spins out and brings out a caution after a 20 or 30 lap green flag run.
As the leaders have not driven away as far as they did in that first run, Chris Davis and Eric Stout staying within striking range. I don't know if it's this lap traffic that got them kind of bottled up there, but as I say it, they kind of spread themselves out a little bit more. But keeping it out as a car goes through the grass, I think he missed pit road. As the 5 car that missed pit road.
Yeah, Torrance Childs trying to get back out on track, already 8 laps down, and actually trying to get off the track. So, like I mentioned, multiple laps down, it's out here chugging along and not having a fun time. Might bring out a caution how slow he's going, to be honest.
We'll have to see how that pans out. Bianchi with some breathing room. Chris Davis and Stout. I think that battle might get heated up here shortly. Stout was pretty good early on until he got loose. As these drivers continue to get these laps down.
Now, speaking of heating up, we're going to see what's in the oven at Culpeper's Bakery and Colony tire check-in here. We got our 2 Culpeper Bakery and Colony tire drivers, Rex Hoyle and Brian Bianchi, in 2nd and 1st. So having a pretty good run right now. Like you mentioned, Eric Stout made a slip-up, and Bianchi didn't hesitate at all to go around these guys, and they've been front and center the whole run since then.
Looks like Pittman has called it a night. And that's going to be big on the championship. We'll just see how these drivers can capitalize.
Speaking of capitalizing, Torrance Childs going way up the track and to the inside. He goes to the number 2 car of Louis Jewell. He was pretty high-ish in the points. He missed a race or 2, and he was 10th, 11th, or 12th, I believe, coming in tonight. So he needed a really good points run. He wanted to try and get back up there. And currently up 6 spots. He was our last place starter, and about to go a lap down at the pace he's going. I believe he was involved in an incident on the restart, but he's still on the lead lap nonetheless, and chugging away here trying to make up points along with a couple other guys like Lloyd Moore. It's a driver that needs a good points run, currently 4th, up 8 spots. So a lot of guys having good points runs with the trouble of Ogle and Pittman so far this one.
Lloyd Moore as we ride on board with the number 26 machine. As you can see, the 3 cars right there in front of them, putting on quite the battle now. Oh, getting loose on exit. But to see if Lloyd Moore can capitalize. That's 3 spots right there in front of him. I think he got the pace.
Yeah, definitely some slower cars away they're racing to the Bruce Pearson and Brian Johnson are side by side in front of him. So Bruce Pearson, the Mission 22, number 22 machine. So and then you got Donnie Moore and Lloyd Moore right behind him, ready to pounce. A slight mistake, and that's been the name of the game tonight, Jeremy. One mistake is all it takes for their competition behind you. They are gruesome and ruthless. I mean, they don't hesitate one bit to make a move and pass make a one little slip up.
And speaking of mistakes, nobody is invincible from the mistakes. We've had our leader make a mistake. We've had third place make a mistake. Doesn't matter where you're on the track, you just got to be really careful. And it seems to be turn 2 is the hot spot.
I think you mentioned a hot spot, both I think figuratively and literally. The sun is pounding there in the middle groove of turn 2. There's got a little bit of shade from the tree line in one, so they have a little bit of grip, and then the sun just poofs there. And so I think the track's a little bit hotter there, a little bit less grip, and they hit that hot spot, and around they go.
This Eric Stout puts the pressure on the number 7 machine of Chris Davis, trying to get another spot, see if he can get back up to the lead there. Very fortunate that all he did was get loose, but trying to drive his way back to the front after starting on the lead.
So we're at the 40% mark, lap 50, lap 51 of this one already. So going by pretty quickly, and so far at front and in command, it's been all Brian Bianchi and Rex Hoyle ever since Eric Stout made that slip up. And Bianchi, I mean, him and Hoyle have pulled away from Chris Davis and Stout. And I mean, it's a pretty stout competition up here.
My question is Rex Hoyle just waiting it out because he knows it's his teammate in front of him and he just wants to wait and be patient and not race him hard right now? Or is Brian Bianchi just that good right now?
I mean, I think he's definitely good. He's flying as they're going to go to the bottom of Torrance Showers. Lap traffic, definitely playing picture, really slow down the backstretch, and he's got Chris Davis and Eric Stout. I mean, this battle for second or for third and fourth between Davis and Stout is really starting to heat up quite a bit as well. So Stout trying to get up there on the podium if we can get back up there.
I think Stout might be starting to get impatient. Knows he's faster than Chris Davis, but there's just no place to pass. I think he almost gave him the bumper one time going into 3. Looks like Davis has a slower entry and a better exit, and it seems to be that Stout is doing the opposite right now.
Now you see the front bumper, and it's a mirror-full of Eric Stout riding on board the back bumper of Chris Davis here. And I mean, there's no opportunity for Stout to make a move, but he closes it up every single time. I mean, so obviously a little bit quicker than Davis, but it's not able to make a move. We got smoke, though. We got one in the wall, I believe it. Gavin Adams right in front of the leaders. The 30 machine, yes, he put himself in the wall going into turn 1. Able to keep it rolling for the most part, but already 15 laps down. He got loose again. I did actually hit the wall. It had a bit of a tire lockup. But second time tonight, Gavin Adams gets loose. No caution this time, though. Great recovery for him. You see the replay here. The leader's coming up on him, and I'm sure Brian Bianchi definitely had a maximum pucker moment here.
Got up in the marbles.
I see Rex Hoyle bob a little bit, expecting him to come back down the track. I mean, I'd be definitely scared too a little bit as Adams down pit road for the third or fourth time tonight, already 16 laps down, and see if we can get that thing handling a little bit better.
Stout and Isaac all over the back bumper here of the number 7 machine of Chris Davis. Might be holding them up right now. Like I said, Stout might be starting to get impatient. You can see those leaders starting to drive away. They're almost 2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, they're pulling away quite a bit. You can mention at the line this time. The difference is just under 0.3 from Brian Bianchi to Rex Hoyle, then 1.6 seconds from Bianchi, your leader, to Chris Davis in third, and 1.8 seconds to Eric Stout in fourth. So I mean, they've built a pretty sizable gap here to third and fourth.
This lap 61 lap 60 has been completed there. A lot of rubber starting to build up on the top of the track there. That means these tires are wearing out. These drivers, hopefully they've saved their tires because this seems to have quite the green feel right now. I'll have to see how it pans out.
Speaking of panning out, running on board of the Allen Wallmaker now. He's the man, the myth, the legend behind this league. Does all the hard work, helps with the AI predictions, plugs all the data points in there, and he works effortlessly around the clock to make sure YesterYear Racing goes as smoothly as possible. And so far, 7 races in, I haven't seen a single fluke.
definitely does a great job providing us broadcasters with information as well. Makes our job a lot easier and gives us some really great stuff to talk about. And I got to thank Alan for that as well.
That does a great job putting together so they can make sure it goes awesome. Speaking of going awesome, someone that's not having an awesome night, that's Gavin Adams, who still had that spin. He's gone and parked it, pulled it behind the wall for the night. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how he drove it out of the track, but sure he just found an opening between traffic and sent it out there.
As we just hit the halfway point there, last lap, and this race is moving along. The crowd is pumped as Brayton takes the drone for another spin. Hopefully
Yeah, I'm not
brings it
actually
back.
licensed to do this. I hope Jeff has insurance on it. But saw the crowd here, 10,000 in a full tonight cheering.
Oh,
If I'm Eric Stout, I'm just towing at this point. He's going to try to get it back going. No, he's not. He's going tow. Guess he's listening to our broadcast.
Oh man, Stout was pushing it so hard there. I'm sure our awesome producer will grab us a replay here shortly and we'll be able to check that out. We almost kind of caught it live there.
No, I think we got the tail end of it. Eric Stout there posted or trouble for the second time tonight. Looking on the bottom of Chris Davis. This maybe misgauges it, tries to go a little bit lower, and around he goes. And I mean, at that point, there's nothing they can do. By the time he gets recovered, he's going to go a lap down. We mentioned no wavering runs, no lucky dogs, no point in running. So, heartbreak for Stout, the new kid on the block. I mean, he's on the points, like I mentioned, first time out, I believe, in the YesterYear Racing League. So, yeah, he's parked it. He said goodbye, I'm going to get me a corn dog or a slice of pizza somewhere. Or maybe he's going to go get a cannoli from Pepper's Bakery and Cafe.
Speaking of the bakery, the Culpepper's Bakery and Colony Tire check-in is going to be here shortly as these drivers are doing great up front.
Yeah, they're definitely burning up their tires. I have to check out and get some new tires if they can help it there. I mean, they're definitely burning them up. So Colony Tire and Service, you have to service those bad boys if they can. I mean, these are 15-inch tires. I'm assuming they got some in inventory. See Brian Bianchi getting a little bit loose there. Loosey-goosey, burning up that right rear. And I don't think they've taken tires at all this race. We're past the halfway point. They have 2 sets if they need it. So caution at this point, I'd expect they come down and service those 4 tires all around.
We got 54 to go this time. Brian Bianchi still leading the way as our pole sitter has had a early night. Really thought it was going to make a comeback there. As Chris Davis kind of has some breathing room now. Almost kind of starting to catch the leaders. Slowly but surely. Every so often I feel like he's getting there.
And he has
5 seconds back.
He has some laps where he really gains, half a tenth, a tenth, and he can maintain that throughout the end of the race and catch him, but then he'll lose 2 or 3 tenths in one lap sometimes. And so Bianchi and Hoyle are more consistent with lap traffic, and you mentioned Brian Johnson 5 seconds back and forth from the leader, Brian Bianchi. So Brian and Brian sandwich going on in their top 4.
Isaac's back there in 5th. Dunnymore in 6th. Bruce Pearson is going to be our 7th place. 8th is Lloyd Moore. 9th is Jeffrey Leiden. And the league owner has found himself up here in the top 10. Looks like 11th place is the last car on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, about half started back is Brian Bianchi getting ready to put Thomas Hilbert a lap down. And, he's got a little 4 or 5 car pack here. Alan Wallmaker, Jeffrey Leiden, Thomas Ogle, Torrance Childs, Rory Collins, and a couple other guys. Lap traffic and lead lap traffic all in this pack there. So going through 3 and 4, see him back there coming off the corner. So definitely action all around the track.
As we're right on board here with the number 26 of Lloyd Moore. All these drivers, about 2 car battles all the way around this track. Some drivers got a couple that are all by themselves. But almost seems like 2 car battles all the way around.
Yeah, definitely some bigger packs here and there, but 2 car battles is the name of the game, like you said. And the one up front is the one to watch. Bianchi and Rex Hoyle, these 2 have put on a great show. And they're starting to put the heat on, turn the heat on. Chris Davis is closing in slowly but surely. We mentioned that it was about 1.8 a couple of laps ago. This past time, pick up half a tenth or so. So I just think Hoyle and Bianchi starting to bring their tires up a little bit. Chris Davis turning the heat up for sure. Taking the cupcakes, pulling them out of the oven. It's go time for Chris Davis.
Chris Davis wants to put some frosting in those cupcakes in the winner's circle too. That'd be. Hey.
Well, Culpepper's said they can make an 8-inch cake for any occasion. I'm sure Chris Davis beating the Culpepper's bakery and cafe drivers is not an occasion they want to make an 8-inch cake for.
As we got 45 laps to go. Our leaders are still the Culpepper's Bakery boys. Chris Davis kind of lost a little bit right there. I feel like every time we talk about him, he falls back, and then once we mention him, once we forget about him, he does better. So we need to stop talking. I think we need to forget about him for a little bit. So Chris Davis, do your thing. We're gonna forget about you. Brian Johnson is there in 4th. Seems to be all by himself there. And then Jerry Isaacs behind him seems to be where another battle is for positions.
Yeah, definitely some guys are out in Lauderdale land by themselves. Let me tell you, it gets boring racing on short track. I've never raced on Stafford in real life, but racing on short track in real life, you have 4 seconds gap both directions. It gets boring, let me tell you.
You kind of start to get a little bit lonely, asking yourself, oh, as the lap traffic got in the wall in front of the leaders there, that was close.
That's
like you said, though, you just kind of get a little lonely and you're asking yourself, is somebody else out here tonight?
And what's scary too is I'm sure Rex Hoyle is going this hard because Brian Bianchi's going this hard. So it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do game. We can't beat them, join them. So I mean, you don't really have anyone to pace yourself off of. You don't know how hard you can push it. So when you're by yourself like Brian Johnson is, you don't really have anyone to engage yourself. You don't really know what lines are forming or developing or what's working for other people. Speaking of working for other people, Brian Bianchi's about to have his work cut out for them. As he's got a 4-car pack here. It's Torrance Childs, 10 laps down, Rory Collins, 1 down, and Alan Wallmaker currently the last car on the lead lap, and Jennifer Lydon right in front of him. So 4 cars are all about to go 1 or multiple laps down if Brian Bianchi has anything to say about it.
If I'm looking at this correctly, our AI prediction had Brian Bianchi as a 10th place finisher today. Brian Bianchi is trying to prove that AI wrong and win this race, as the lap traffic seems to be kind of giving way. Oh, gets in the wall. Those marbles up there are extremely tricky. The lap traffic's trying to get out of the way, but they're going too high and almost wrecking themselves.
They're starting to build up there for sure. Torrance Childs, the driver in the wall, already 10 laps down. And let me tell you, Thomas Ogle, I'm sure, would have loved to have been able to prove that AI wrong. 3 wins in the first 6 races this season, and not the race he wanted by any means, as he's currently running 3 laps down. But Bianchi, on the other hand, having the race of his life this season, try and build up some points. He's got Jeffrey Lydon, Alan Wallmaker, and Rory Collins on the chopping block in reverse order of what I just mentioned. Rory Collins up first, and a bit of a battle going on in front of their leader.
Got a battle going on in front of our leaders. We got cars getting loose. Everybody's right rears are screaming hot right now. They're just trying to get this race over with, trying to survive with 36 laps to go. They're just kind of giving away there. I like to see it.
Yeah, 30 or 20% left in this one, give or take 40%, 30%, somewhere around that. We're past halfway. We're well past halfway. I'll give you that. I'll give me that. How about that? Something I will love to give these drivers, though, is some Colony tire and service. These guys, I'm sure, would love some tires and some service on their tires, because you see the right rears are really starting to burn off, especially in their leader, Brian Bianchi, Rex Hoyle.
Always lap traffic right in front of our leaders, made some contact. Rex Hoyle, starting to lose some ground to our leader. Brian Bianchi trying to seal the deal right here. Navigating the lap traffic down the backstretch.
Rex Hoyle side by side with Jeffrey Lydon and the number 39 Piggly Wiggly machine. Now the first car 1 lap down. About to join him, though, is Alan Wallmaker. And the number 1 machine trying not to go a lap down. He's going to fight hard for it. Like we mentioned, no lucky dog with no wave around, and there's a bit of a gap, 10 seconds to the next car, and Lloyd Moore from Allen. So it's not like Allen has to really worry about anything, but if we go a lap down, we can't contend for the win. So expect Allen to fight pretty hard here.
I'm not sure if it's that hard to pass or if Allen almost kind of found something on the top side there those couple laps.
He's getting a great run off the corners for sure.
Oh, got the marbles that time.
About
Lost the battle.
4, yeah, so he's going to go a lap down, about put on the wall. Rex Hoyle now trying to close up. I expected that battle to bring Rex Hoyle back up to the back bumper of Brian Bianchi, but kind of separate them if anything. And then I think Hoyle caught down there a bad spot, getting loose off of turn 4, and separated them quite a bit. So 31, now 30 laps to go, so 15 miles left around Stafford Motor Speedway here.
15 quick miles, but these right rears want it over now, as the top 6 are within 7 seconds of each other.
That battle's heating up on and off the track, while the track is starting to actually cool down a little bit, down at 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So shade is a huge factor there in the 7.5 degrees banking of 1 and 2, and not much of the 9 degrees in the 3 and the 4. So Lloyd Moore, currently last driver on the lead lap, right in front of him low. That's or not right in front of him, but Donnie Moore, another Moore to watch. I don't think him and Lloyd are related. I think we had this conversation like 2 months ago. I think it's the Hilberts that are related, Stephen and Thomas Hilbert. I might have that backwards, but Donnie Moore in the 4 machine back there in the ASPCA machine, trying to chase down Jerry Isaacs again to the top 5.
And quite a bit of breathing room too for the 8th place machine there. Only 9 seconds back, just about 8 seconds back. Within striking range still too. If something happens here, we get a yellow flag. A lot can happen. I'm sure a lot of drivers are just in their seats right now, just want a break, whether it's the end of the race or a yellow. This has been a long green flag run.
You say it's been quite a bit. I think 60 or so laps since we've had a caution flag, and I guess no one took tires that last time we had a caution. I can actually tell you, I believe it was about 73 laps ago. So no one's really had a chance to not even change tires, but to really calm down. I mean, it's a short track, so I mean, you're constantly turning the way that traffic has been. I mean, you're having to avoid, think about it, and try and find a hole and find a line that works. You make one mistake and you got a handful. So I mean, drivers have no
backstretch. Sorry.
No, go ahead. So on backstretch, it's Thomas Hilbert, already 1 lap down.
Thought there was going to be a yellow, but he is still rolling.
Rolling.
One thing I like about this league is it's the green flag runs. I enjoy this.
We got a replay here.
Marbles.
Calling them marbles for a reason, and that's it right there. Second to get in there, I think driving on marbles and a round to go. So doesn't matter if you have 5 inches of rubber or 15 inches of rubber. Marbles will not help you regardless.
You lose a lot of grip. Turns into an ice skating rink as Bianchi has a half a second lead now. Lots of breathing room with 21 to go.
And Brian Bianchi a bit on cruise control right now. Rex Hoyle 8/10 behind him, and that gap is getting a little bit bigger and bigger. Rex Hoyle starting to disappear in the rearview mirror, so no pressure. Then Chris Davis 4.5 seconds back. So it's funny, look at the track map here from the announcer's booth at the top of the grandstands. Everyone's on like one side of the track. So one track is pretty empty, minus the 13 machine of Thomas Ogle, and everyone else is on the same half of the track, it seems.
That's definitely a lonely feeling when you're pretty much dead smack in the middle of nobody. These drivers continue to click these laps away. I feel like we're going to get our little driver check-in here at the podium.
They're definitely going to turn the oven up and the sweet treat pepper from another few tires, not sure. And I'm sure they need service after the fact. Chris Davis, though, in third. I mean, we keep talking about him, and he keeps falling back. Actually, he's falling back so much. Brian Johnson's now within a couple of cars next to him, and he's thinking about filling that final podium position. 27 on machine.
This is our closest battle for position right now in top 5. Everybody's searching around, trying to find a better line, trying to time the turns, wrap the bottom, you name it.
Yeah, you mentioned closest battle in the top 5. We got all kinds of close battles in the top 10. Right behind them, Jerry Isaacs and Donnie Moore within 2 car lengths. That's 51 in the 4 machine back there going off of turn 4. They're only 2 or 3 tenths off each other. And then behind them, that's about for 5th and 6th. Behind them, the battle in 7th and 8th. Like right behind them is Bruce Pearson and Lloyd Moore, who are only 2 or 3 tenths. So you got 4 cars here, all within a second of each other, all trying to get inside the top 5.
One little slip up, you can lose 3 spots, or you can gain 3 spots. Speaking of slip ups,
able to keep it rolling. Everyone definitely struggling with that right rear. Getting ready to come to 13 laps to go. Brian Bianchi going through 3 and 4, and Rex Hoyle starting to preheat the oven a little bit. Set to 425 for 15 minutes, and he's got about 5 minutes left, and he's closing up the gap ever so slightly.
Trying to do what he can, but it looks like he slipped up a little bit there going into 1 and 2. But like you said, closing in a little bit there, losing a little bit there, but like the closing in seems to be more. We'll have to see what he can do for these 12 laps.
That time's gonna fall back a little bit, so these trucks definitely a handful on old rubber. 612 horsepower brought to you by 364 cubic inches of GM Chevrolet LS2 power there. So 2-speed transmissions, 4-barrel carburetors, and 15-inch wide tires, which I'm sure they're all screaming on all 4 corners of every car out here right about now.
I feel like every time we talk about something on the track, something else happens. We talk about Rex Hoyle losing time, now he's gaining time with 10 to go. We talked about that battle going on back there, now nobody's battling. Way to go. As Rex Hoyle is trying to prove us wrong and gain those spots back. So start gain that time back and maybe gain the lead.
That Rex Hoyle here in this open wheel modified coming through 3 and 4. Trying to find something. He's closed up a little bit, but
I think Rex is close enough where if Bianchi slips up, Rex is going to do anything what it takes, even with it being a teammate. Winning right now with the way the points are halfway through the season, every position is going to matter. Every change in the points is going to matter. You're going to want to be there at the end.
Yeah, I recommend you have a summer stretch here, 7-8 weeks off, 7-8 weeks to think about it. So if you make a mistake here, it's definitely pretty bad. Like I said, you have a long time thinking about what you could have done differently. As a race car driver, that's what you're going to do. So a win here, definitely a way to show off that first half of the season or so, or great way to start the second half of the season.
Man, a win right here would be definitely a great feeling for the next 7 to 8 weeks. That's for sure.
I mean, not a whole lot of lap traffic, a little bit coming up in front. Torrance Childs, Thomas Hilber, and Thomas Ogle, all multiple laps down already, so I don't expect them to put on a fight. But Rex Hoyle shows some flashes of speed, and then he loses it. So I'm not sure, he might have burned it.
Ever so often, with 5 laps to go, Bianchi kind of gets his left rear a little too low, and he slips up in the turns, and Rex Hoyle kind of gains on him. But once he gets more consistent, he pulls back away. We'll have to see if Bianchi can be smooth for these last 4 laps.
Yeah, Rex Hoyle closes up 2.5 tenths that last time by at the line. Let's see what it is now. 4 laps to go, 2 miles around the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. Lap traffic will come into play here. Last time by, Bianchi just a hair quicker, but Hoyle's definitely closing in. I just think he's starting to run out of time. Big's into turn 3.
Sending it hard here. Rex Hoyle is going to give us one heck of a finish with 3 laps to go.
And this lap traffic going to be a huge part if they catch him. It's Torrance Childs in the 5 machine right there in front of the leaders. Bianchi, Bobo's though, but coming up at turn 2. We're coming to 2 laps to go. Hoyle is getting there.
Flagger gives us 2 sticks in the air, lets us know we got 2 laps to go. Rex Hoyle all over the back of Bianchi now, going down the backstretch, trying to give him all the pressure he can. It's his teammate. We're coming to the white flag. What is Rex Hoyle going to do?
A half mile to go from Stafford Motor Speedway presented by Maconi Entertainment. Last lap, white flag in there for Brian Bianchi. They're not going to catch 20 showers. Bianchi bobbles a little bit. Rex Hoyle closes up big time in 1 and 2. Off of turn 2 for the final time. Rex Hoyle, 3 car lengths back, 2 car lengths. Thinks about sending it. He's looking on the bottom. He's going to get loose. He's going to bobble. Bianchi's going to drive off, and Brian Bianchi's going to get the checkered flag over Rex Hoyle.
Third.
What was there?
Third will be Chris Davis holding on off of Brian Johnson. 4th. Jerry Isaacs was 5th. What a battle up front for our leaders. Our Culpeper's Bakery and Colony Tire check-in is going to come on in at the podium.
Yeah, well, we mentioned they can go over to Culpeper's Bakery for a specialized 8-inch cake, and there's no better cake than Victory Lane cake.
The 41 machine of Brian burns it down.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll go down our 19 finishers here and talk to a couple winners and a couple podium finishers.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment, where we just wrapped up round number 7 of the YesterYear Racing League. We're past meet present. I'm Brayton Lasser. Joining me in the booth tonight was Jeremy Briggs and DJ Alliance is our producer. We have 19 fierce finishers here brought to you from the Stafford Motor Speedway, home of the SK Modifieds. And I want to see, give them a rundown, see where they all finished. So rounding out, or starting with their podium, Brian Bianchi holds off Rex Hoyle for a fierce battle throughout the entire race. Chris Davis in 3rd. Brian Johnson up 6 spots in 4th. Jerry Isaacs in 5th. Lloyd Moore up quite a few spots in 6th. Donnie Moore in 7th. And then Bruce Pearson, name of the game, Perseverance, that is, in 8th. That's going to lead that. Jeffrey Lyden in 9th. And Alan Wallmaker, man behind the Power League, and making it all happen in 10th. And Jeremy, you want to go ahead and give us the final 9 drive?
Let's finish it up here. 2 laps down was Roy Collins, and 11th. 12th was Thomas Hilbert. Thomas Ogle, number 13 and 13, 3 laps down. Wasn't the greatest night from the beginning there. 14th, 11 laps down was Dorrance Childs. Eric Stout was our pole sitter and exited early tonight. Lowell Jewell was 16th. Kevin Adams 17th. Stephen Hilbert 19th. Ryan Pittman was 19th. Also out of the race early.
So we're going to see if we can get an award with tonight's winner. Brian Bianchi leads 112 out of 125 laps. We'll see if we got him here. Brian, are you with us?
I am.
All right, well, congratulations once again on your win. I mean, like I said, it was an absolutely dominating performance. Only you and Eric Stout led laps tonight, and Eric Stout has that mishap after 13 laps. You take the lead and never look back. So talk us through your race here tonight.
Yeah, fast car. I was fast car all day, I think. Messed up a little bit there in qualifying, but still was third. I was going to keep the pressure on Eric, and I hate that he had that mishap, but yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, definitely a great race indeed, and you needed a great race coming in tonight, the halfway point in the season, and you came into this one point behind Ryan Pittman, who finished way down the list in last, 19th, and then Thomas Ogle, who you were 58 points behind, came in tonight as your points leader. He didn't even finish inside the top 10, so you did a great run, and talk us through your points battle going on now that it should be pretty close to being the points leader if you aren't.
Yeah, really good points tonight. I got a couple of bonus points in there as well. I think I will end up being points leader. But, hey, still a long way to go. We got to keep finishing up front.
Yep, 100%. Quick question, another one for you. Will you be celebrating with an 8-inch specialized cake from Culpepper's Bakery?
Yeah, maybe we'll get a bigger one. We'll get a sheet cake or something.
Oh, and you got Thompson coming up. Feel free to talk through how you're feeling about Thompson as well in about 7 weeks, and go ahead and thank anybody you want to thank for this run tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe, Colony Tire, GK Properties, Bar Mackey, Zeno's Luxury Jackets, and Christina's Custom Cuts.
Yeah, well, we will see you at Thompson in 7 to 8 weeks' time, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you once again there.
Thank you.
That was Brian Bianchi, led 112 laps tonight and route to that win. Next up on the list, see if we can find him. We can. It's Rex Hoyle standing by with Jeremy Briggs.
All right, Rex. Jeremy up here in the booth with the boys. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, Rex. Well, I feel like this is the second time that we were trying to do the Culpepper's Bakery and Colonial Tire check-in during the race, and we don't seem to get it. But at least we got it when we're on the podium. Walk us through your night, looking at the back bumper of your teammate all night.
There you go, man. We had a great night tonight. Brian and I worked hard on the cars, got them handling good, and man, they were just like driving on a rail. We had a great time out there, and we're talking back and forth on race strategy, and just had a good night for 505 Motorsports.
Awesome. Now, were you just kind of laying back, trying to let him just kind of burn his stuff up, or was that just kind of where you guys were landing with the one-lane racing tonight?
Yeah, we just kind of fell into place, and we just rode to the end. That's what strategy was, and if we get in that position, and man, it worked out great.
It certainly did. For the next 7 to 8 weeks for this break, you and your teammate are going to be the 1-2 finishers. Who do you got to thank for getting here tonight?
Man, we got to thank Colony Tire, Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe. We got Tuxedos by Ted. We got Geppetto's Pizza, and got to thank my teammate. We work hard together. We work good together, and man, you couldn't ask for a better deal.
Teamwork makes the dream work. 1-2 for your team. Have a great night, Rex. Thank you so much for stopping in.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. What you guys do up in the booth.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Rex. Your second place finisher, Rex Hoyle.
I'm gonna tell you, I can go for some pizza. I know you mentioned some pizza. I can always go for some pizza. That's for sure. Someone else going down the list in our third place finisher, rounding out the podium 4 seconds behind Bianchi's Chris Davis. Davis, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
All right, that was definitely a hard-fought race. I mean, that long 100-plus or so green flag round about right at 100 to round it out. You were right there with Bianchi and Hoyle for a little bit. You started to fall off. What more did you need to beat those guys?
Well, those two Culpepper cars were really quick, and anytime I would start to make up some time or try to make up time, even though I would drop my lap times, I could hear the right rear squeal. And that just wasn't going to be good for you for 125 laps. So I was just hoping to stay close to them so that if we got a yellow flag near the end, that I might be able to do something to get a spot up from there.
Yeah, I say definitely a tire management game for sure. And another track we're going to 7-8 weeks time, August 20th. It's going to be Thompson. How you feeling about Thompson coming up?
Well, I do live here in Connecticut. Stafford's not too far away from me. Thompson just a little bit further. I like both those tracks a lot just because I see them in real life. I see how the real life racers run the line, and that's part of what has helped me get through a 125 lap period like at Stafford. You really have to change your line as your tires start to wear out. Same thing at Thompson. You'll see guys go in down low, move up towards the middle, through the middle of the turn, and then come back down, kind of diamond the turn a bit. Other guys will run all the way through the middle the whole time. So I think Thompson's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it.
I know you ran Thompson last time out, and not the greatest finish there, so hoping to turn things around. Anybody want to thank him or out to this third place finish here tonight?
Well, I definitely got to thank you guys up there in the booth. I know that's not an easy job to keep it entertaining for so many green laps. So awesome job to you guys up in the booth. I want to thank the league for putting this on. My teammate, John Wilson, who mostly runs in a different league, he and I are part of Team CDR. That's Continuous Development Racing. And that's what we're trying to do every time we get on the track, and every morning when we wake up is just become a bit better.
Yep, of course. Well, thank you for putting on a great show for us to commentate, and I'm sure we'll be talking to once again in a couple weeks.
Thanks, guys. You have a great summer.
Yep, you too. So, coming up next on the docket from YesterYear Racing League, where the past meets the present, Thompson Speedway going right down the street in Thompson, Connecticut. 5/8 mile, Jeremy, going to be a lot of fun action for sure watching these guys navigate that. They navigated it last time out, and so we're going to have 3 races in about 3 months, and 2 which are going to be at Thompson.
Excited to see those races play out. We'll have to see if they get the green flag feel. That's certainly what we've got here this evening. We'll have to see if the drivers can do it again here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, hopefully not too far down the street from Culpeper's. Definitely a fun race tonight, and Jeremy, I don't think there's any other way we could have had that one go.
Man, the green flag racing, like you said, it is hard to commentate green flag racing, but I love to see it. It goes to show you the skill that these drivers can really put on, especially on the sim. The sim is extremely hard to get a lot of green flag racing. These drivers did a great job of it tonight. And the pizza, I need some more of the pizza.
Yeah, for sure. That next race I mentioned, Thompson, that's August 20th at 8:30 p.m. here on Maconi Entertainment. Once again, we want to thank the entire YesterYear Racing administration team led by Alan Wallmaker for all of their glorious work in bringing this league to life. They put a lot of action and time and effort behind it. And speaking of action, calling the action night with myself, Brent Laster, alongside me, which is Jeremy Briggs in the booth with DJ Line producing and using cameras by Dougie Beard. Thanks once again to all of our wonderful viewers for watching tonight's racing action, and we hope you stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next race. Thank you to our entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment, and we will see you next time.